Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Assemble. My name is High Ruler, and today it's been quite a day. Hope you're all enjoying Future Imperfect, but I'm not here to talk Future Imperfect. I'm here to talk this, and then this. So, let's first talk about the roadmap. So guys, obviously the roadmap today, it has been unveiled, it has been released, and on the roadmap here, it starts off with today actually showing us that we are getting Future Imperfect in March, blah, 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 blah. We already know what we've gotten today. Next, we have Tachyon Anomalies, Red Room Takeover, the Cosmic Cube, the Wasteland Patrol, and the War for Wakanda Expansion. Let me move my camera here so you guys see everything we're getting. So what I'm covering now with my camera says this roadmap may change and does not include all in-progress work. Wonder what that means. I'm sure I could take a guess. I'm sure you guys could too. But let's take a look at first the Tachyon Anomalies. So this one is play as any combination of your favorite heroes. Tachyon mission skills for power levels 1 to 100. Next, we have the Red Room Takeover. Enter the Red Room with new themed harm room content and new hero outfits. Cosmic Cube, new Scientist Supreme villain sector, as well as confront the unchecked power of the Cosmic Cube. Next, we have the Wasteland Patrol, new Warzone mission type patrol mode, new war zones and assignments within the Wasteland region. Next, it's the big boy expansion, guys. War for Wakanda. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So when we start looking at kind of the roadmap here, one of the big things that you're going to notice is that there's no characters on this list. No Captain Marvel, no She-Hulk, no Winter Soldier, no Spider-Man, right? They've actually gone and kind of changed up their development process here a little bit. It used to be characters, operations. And one of the things that we've been screaming for as a community has been content. And it seems they've taken what we've given them as feedback and they've changed their whole kind of approach to their post-launch content development schedule. And one of the things I was saying today on my stream was that there's going to be people who really like this approach and there's going to be people who really don't like this approach, right? One of the things that I do like about it is that it is new things to do, right? Technically, I've seen some people say, Tachyon Anomalies is April, Red Room Takeovers is May, and then Cosmic Cube is June, July, and then August for War for Wakanda. Even if that doesn't really line up the way it really is seemingly like, there is going to be something that's coming at a frequent pace, and that's a good thing, right? This isn't considering, obviously we're still due for Cloning Labs, we're still due for Super Adaptoid, multiplayer Mega Highs. They said like there is still things that they are gonna give us, right? This is just the big things right here. So personally speaking, do I like this roadmap? Yes. Do I understand that some of you guys, and please let me know in the comments below, do you guys look at this and you're like, where are my characters at? Yeah, I mean, like today I had someone in my stream say, 6 characters is not a lot to launch with, right? And when you think about other Marvel games, they launch with 20, 30 characters, right? And you look at this one in particular, 6, then 7, now 8. People do and will feel like they're not getting the characters they want. And I'm sure some of you guys did feel a little bit jaded today when looking at this. So I understand both sides of the argument here. Personally speaking, when it comes to Tachyon Anomalies, Red Room Takeover, the Cosmic Cube, and the Wasteland Patrol, do I look at this and I say, this is stuff that I really am looking forward to? Yeah, personally, I think this could all be really fun stuff to introduce into the game. And to me, that's what I'm looking for. As I'm playing Future Imperfect today, I really enjoy Clint. I really enjoy the character, the moveset, everything. I'm just looking for that next thing to do, right? I'm looking for that new activity to run. I'm looking for that new thing to get excited about playing. And ideally, all these things kind of bring that excitement to the game, right? Characters are great personally, but I'm looking for that next thing that I can take these characters into and can play. So understandable that some of you guys are going to look at this and really feel jaded. I totally understand, and I'm trying to minimize your feelings on this one. I'm just speaking from a personal experience and a personal standpoint right now where I look at this and I get excited. Next, we can talk about additional content and features, of course, as a mega level threat missions, multiplayer mega highs, post level 50 progression, and outfits inspired by the MCU. So as far as I know, the MCU stuff is going to be coming right around the time of the Red Room Takeover. Not every single MCU costume is going to come out at that time, obviously, but there will be some that launch with the Red Room Takeover. And then you'll see it just like any other costume. They'll start getting cycled in when they become available and they're done, kind of being made. So expect that right around the time of the Red Room Takeover. Obviously, like I said, a mega level threat missions, still kind of waiting on it. Obviously we're due 2 of them, and technically speaking, I haven't had that many issues with multiplayer today in 1.5, so maybe sooner rather than later. Multiplayer Mega Hives, yeah, sure, why not? Post level 50 progression. I mean, anything to do with like taking that character to that next step, which we have seen in the roadmap trailer today. Iron Man had 160 power level gear, so I mean, we know a level cap increase is coming, so that's exciting. Ongoing improvements, balance tuning, gear and progression, Gear 2.0, collectible comic system, and matchmaking. So right there, a lot of cool stuff, guys. So much cool stuff there. So next, guys, is the War for Wakanda expansion. And let me tell you guys, when I look at this, let's just rattle this off. A Black Panther, new hero outfits, power level cap increase, new villains including Claw. Villains makes me think it's more than one. New Claw faction enemies, new story, new Wakanda jungle biome, new outpost. Doesn't seemingly mention the raid, but I mean, yeah, okay. Right there, guys, an expansion bigger than an operation. I look at that and I see triple the times of what we got today in Future Imperfect. That is going to be the meat of the bones of what this game is going to rely on in the next 6 months. And right there, I'm super hopeful for the future of the game. When I look at this stuff, guys, personally speaking, I see hope and potential in the future of this game. Unfortunately, I know, once again, no characters is really going to put a damper on it. But for me personally, I look at this and I'm excited. I'm excited to play. Obviously, like I said today, Future Perfect, I thought it was going to be bigger. I'm a little disappointed that it's not. But when I look at something like the War for Wakanda expansion, and I look at the things that are coming, I look at Black Panther himself. You guys see that costume? I look at all this stuff. I look at like they're gonna be invading Wakanda. Aim and Claw. Like I look at all these things, and I'm like, I just want it now, right? But truthfully, guys, I look at a lot of this stuff, and to me, I look at the next 6 months of this game, and I'm very excited about the future. Now, obviously, the big thing that people are going to ask about and people are going to talk about is, where is Spider-Man? Where is Spider-Man? Well, let's go and look at some quotes here in some articles, and we'll find out where exactly Spider-Man is. So we have an article here on Game Informer, and obviously the title is, What About Spidey? Now, it starts off by saying, last year, Crystal Dynamics and PlayStation announced that Spider-Man would be joining the Avengers exclusively on PlayStation consoles in early 2021. When I asked Amos, which is Scott Amos, for an update on everyone's favorite web slinger, he unfortunately can't say too much. Quote, PR has allowed me to say that we have people working on Spider-Man right now, he says. It is a thing and will be a thing, and we will talk about it sometime in the future. That early 2021 window has essentially passed for Spider-Man's inclusion to Marvel's Avengers, but hopefully we hear something soon regarding the introduction of the character. Truthfully, guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Do I think a character can drop before Black Panther? Not a chance. I think if they had any sort of wiggle room on a character releasing between now and, whether this is August, September, October for Black Panther, I don't know where he's going to slot. I'm going to say late August, early September, just to be safe. Do I look at this and say, like, Spider-Man could drop in here? Not really, because I feel like they would have definitely done that if they could, right? The biggest criticism with this roadmap is the lack of characters on it. If they could theoretically push Spider-Man somewhere in there, would they have? Oh, definitely. But to me, when I look at this, I would be, if anyone's going to tell you there's a character that's going to come before Black Panther, I'd be very wary of where they're getting that information from. I don't see Spider-Man on this. I see Spider-Man after Black Panther. There's an argument to be made that maybe they're just going to release him alongside the movie in December. That's an argument that could be made. But before Black Panther, not a chance. They would have taken that PR win, even though Spider-Man is such a hot topic amongst like PS4, PS5, and versus like PC and Xbox players. If they could have said, like, you know what, we can slot Spider-Man in June, right? They would have easily just put him on the roadmap and been like, Spider-Man, And the fact that they didn't, to me, indicates that there's nothing coming character-wise before Black Panther. So, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, it is a roadmap that is light on characters. Seemingly, hopefully, it's heavy on content. To be honest with you guys, I think a lot of the criticism is going to be on the execution of this. I've nailed them on communication. I've nailed them on missing dates. A lot of other people have. I'm sure if you're watching this, you've nailed them on these things. I'm gonna be very optimistic that if they're putting this out there in a big presentation like this, they feel comfortable enough that they can hit these dates. And I say dates, but obviously spring and then summer and beyond. I feel very confident that they know they can do these things and they can deliver them. And I also know, well, I don't know this, but I feel that they know that these things have to have some meat to them. And I say that knowing that I'm play Future Imperfect today, and it's a little light, but if they don't bring some meat with a lot of these content drops that they're looking to bring to the game, it's gonna be a little interesting. Now, obviously, Tachyon Anomalies, Red Room Takeover, like these things don't have to be the meatiest chunk of content. Like they don't have to be bigger than Future Imperfect, but alongside them have to come new endgame content, whether that's cloning labs, updates, more Omega level threat missions, like a Maestro one, for example, or the Modoc one, right? Like there has to be something in between each of these content drops to flesh out the endgame experience if these things aren't going to be meaty as I would have liked them to be, right? Ideally, you get the best of both worlds, right? But there's definitely going to have to be a little bit of here's an Omega level threat, randomly or next week or next month or whatever, right? And then after that, it's like 2 weeks later, it's like, oh, there's Tachyon Anomaly, for example, right? Like there's gonna have to be a little bit of like frequent communication and frequent updates on a lot of these things because we're gonna need to know, should we expect cloning labs and then Tachyon Anomaly? Like, it's gonna be a little bit of give and take, and they're gonna have to give us a little bit here. But like I said, guys, I look at this stuff, I feel very hopeful and excited for the game. I hope you guys do too. But if you don't, or if you do, let me know why. I'd love to hear it because I think there's a lot of conversation around the game right now that is actually fruitful. There's a lot of things to talk about. Is Wasteland Patrol, is the patrol mode something you're interested in? Are you interested in facing Monica in the Cosmic Cube? The Red Room Takeover, that seems kind of cool, right? Yelena's coming. We don't know if Yelena is actually going to be like physically in the game. Maybe. But, could they tie that in around the release of Black Widow, for example, for a nice little MCU bump, right? Like, there's actually so much we could actually go and talk about now because we have this roadmap. And ideally, hopefully tomorrow, for example, they do a dev stream, we get some clarification and some more insight into what's coming into the game in the next 6 months and beyond. Hopefully you guys were excited today. Hopefully you really enjoyed kind of what we got today. If you didn't, though, let me know. I'd love to talk to you about it. If you did, of course, let me know. I would love to hear what you guys have to say on it. And ideally, guys, lots to talk about, lots to do in the near future. And I hope you guys are enjoying Future Imperfect. And with that being said, I will see you guys next time. Peace.